Let's start with something I personally struggled with, the so-called affordable luxury car. I remember paying about £800 every month for my Range Rover, convinced that it made sense because it was comfortable, prestigious, and seemed affordable based on my income bracket. But here's the truth, I was just throwing away significant wealth building opportunities just for appearances. Think about it. The average American car payment is an eye-watering $734 per month, totaling nearly about $9,000 per year. That money could instead be invested in something that truly appreciates, like an index fund. For instance, investing just half of that car payment, that's around $367 monthly, into an index fund that tracks the S&P 500 could return nearly $265,000 over 20 years, based on the average returns of 10%. Well, that's before inflation, obviously. Luxury cars might feel good, but they're actually a depreciating asset. They depreciate drastically and lose value as soon as you drive them off the lot. Studies have shown that new cars roughly lose 20 to 30% of their value within the first year alone. And it doesn't stop there. The depreciation continues rapidly for the next several years. Now, you might argue that a reliable, safe car is necessary, and you'd be right. But financial advisors generally recommend buying a slightly used, reliable car that's between 2 to 5 years old. This way, you avoid the biggest hit from depreciation while still benefiting from comfort and safety. Simply put, your car shouldn't be costing you your financial future. Don't make the same mistake that I did with my Range Rover. Prioritize building lasting wealth over temporary luxuries. I've got to admit, I have a Costco membership and I've personally fallen into this trap of bulk buying. Those giant packs of snacks, household supplies, and fresh produce seem like great deals, but here's the reality. Much of it ends up wasted or unused. According to recent data from the US Environmental Protection Agency, the average family of 4 wastes approximately $2,913 worth of groceries annually. That equates to about $728 per person. I noticed myself frequently tossing out expired products and food, thinking I was saving money by buying in bulk, when in reality, I was simply spending more on things I didn't genuinely need. So here's a smarter strategy. Buy only what you genuinely need, especially perishable items. And when you start shopping intentionally rather than impulsively, you will not only save money but also reduce waste significantly. Every dollar saved from avoiding unnecessary bulk purchases can be redirected to building your financial goals, helping you build lasting wealth rather than contributing to your trash bin. Okay, let's address a personal experience here. I have a master's degree from Oxford University, but thankfully it was funded through a scholarship. That was a very wise decision and provided immense value. However, later I pursued an MBA from Imperial College Business School, which cost me over £50,000 out of my own money. Yeah, here's the candid truth. Most of the critical knowledge and skills that I use daily weren't learned from these prestigious classrooms, but through on-job experiences and practical industry training. We've all been conditioned to believe prestigious college, guaranteed better career and higher income. But let's challenge this conventional wisdom. According to the National Study of Millionaires by Ramsey Solution, 88% of millionaires hold a college degree, but it's the degree itself that matters, not where it came from. In fact, 62% of millionaires graduated from public state universities, while only 8% actually attended prestigious private schools. Paying upward of $50,000 to $100,000 or more for fancy degrees isn't necessarily the guaranteed path to wealth. Often, it leaves students burdened with crippling debt for decades, significantly delaying their financial growth and freedom. Instead, consider smarter routes, scholarship, affordable public universities, or community college for your initial years before transferring. The savings from this strategy can then be wisely invested into building real wealth. Take it from someone who learned this the hard way. True career advancement and wealth building often comes from hands-on experience, continuous learning, and investing wisely rather than solely relying on expensive degrees. So, in 2019, I bought a house with a 5-year fixed mortgage at a rate of about 1.17%. At the time, it felt like a really smart financial move. The rates were incredibly low and I could easily manage the payment. Fast forward to today, that fixed term payment expired just as inflation and interest rates soared. I had to remortgage at a staggering 5 point something percent and my monthly payment almost doubled instantly. Now, I'm fortunate to have a high income, so technically I can afford the increased cost. But here's the catch: it affects other areas of my life. My ability to save, invest, and enjoy guilt-free pleasures have taken a hit. And to make matters even worse, the property has lost about 7% in value since I bought it. In hindsight, well, I should have bought a cheaper house or maybe a bigger house in a less expensive neighborhood. That would have kept more cash in my pocket and given me more financial freedom. The lesson here is simple: your house should enhance your life, not consume it. You don't want to be house poor. Many middle-class households fall into the trap of thinking bigger is always better. But large mortgages, rising interest rates, and continuous home improvement quickly divorce your income, leaving you very little for wealth building. According to Ramsey Solutions, financial experts recommend keeping your monthly house payment to no more than 25% of your take-home pay. That includes principal, interest, property taxes, home insurance, HOA fee, and PMI. If you're spending more than that, you are likely stretching your budget too thin and sacrificing of long-term growth for short-term comfort. Choose your home wisely. Prioritize affordability over perceived luxury, and your future self will thank you. Trust me on that. Vacations are essential for rest and inspiration and for new experiences, but financing them with credit card debt, well, that's a one-way ticket to financial stress. A $5,000 vacation paid on a high-interest credit card can easily balloon to $7,000 or more after interest. What should have been a refreshing week away becomes a multi-year financial hangover. Now, while I've never used credit cards to fund my holidays, I do travel quite a bit. On average, I travel to about 7 countries a year, and I go skiing at least once, sometimes twice every winter. The reason I can afford to do this comfortably isn't because I spend recklessly, it's because I plan ahead. I have a dedicated fund that I contribute to every month. That way, when it's time to book flights or hotels, I'm not scrambling. The money is already there and I can travel without guilt or debt hanging over my head. And if you want to travel without wrecking your finances, here's what I suggest. Set up an automatic monthly transfer, $100 to $500 or whatever works within your budget, into a high yield savings account earmarked specifically for traveling. By the time summer or ski season rolls around, you've got a well-padded travel fund ready to go. Debt-free vacation feels better. Trust me on that. Sales look like golden opportunities to save money, but more often than not, they are traps disguised. They lure you into spending to save, tricking you into buying things you never intend to buy simply because they are discounted. I've fallen for this many times, especially on Amazon. There's always something on sales that I never knew I wanted until I saw it. One click leads to another, and before I know it, I've spent money on stuff I didn't need or wasn't even looking for in the first place. It's a fast track to reckless spending. Here is a practical rule that works. If you see something on sale and feel tempted to buy, well, wait for 48 hours. That's the cooling off period. Well, let's call it the cooling off period that helps you decide whether it's a true need or just a fleeting impulse. Most of the time, the desire fades and you walk away with more money in your account. So resist the urge to shop just because something is marked down. That deal isn't a deal if it steals from your savings or delays your financial goal. Stick to what you actually need and invest the rest. Let's wrap this off with one of the sneakiest middle class purchases: subscriptions you forgot you had. From Netflix to fitness apps to software tools you used once and never again. These recurring charges quietly drains your account month after month. According to C+R research, Americans underestimate their subscription spending by over 2.5x, believing they spend around $86 per month when in reality it's close to $219. But it's not just Americans here, it's the same for most people even outside of the US. Personally, I've caught myself paying for subscriptions I haven't used in months, apps I downloaded, free trials I forgot to cancel, and services I thought I might need someday. All of it adds up. And here's what I do now every quarter. I review my bank and credit card statement line by line and ask myself, am I actively using this? Is this actually bringing me some value? If the answer is no, it's cancelled automatically. Even if you save just £50 per month from cutting out debt subscriptions, that adds up to £600 a year. And more importantly, it's money you can redirect into investment or saving goals that actually builds your future. You work hard for your money. Don't let forgotten subscriptions spend it for you. Well, I've showed you mine. Now it's your turn. Which of these traps have you personally fallen into, and what changes are you planning to make? Let me know in the comments. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on my next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.